Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having soda, and tonight I'll be discussing The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. This is a book I got through the Libby app. Of course, I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the highlights and the content warnings. There are no content warnings listed in the book, but these are things I came across. Of course, I could have missed something. My rating for this book is 3.95, so what's it about? So this book is about Taslin, who has only ever known war and struggle, growing up as an orphan in a country that is under siege by the Night Emperor in what people are calling the Hurricane Wars. But in the midst of everything, she managed to find her family amongst her fellow soldiers. But while she may trust them with her life, she cannot trust them with her secret. Her secret is that she carries light magic within her veins, and she may in fact be the last light wielder, because the Emperor is doing everything he can to eliminate light wielders so that his shadows may reign supreme. But in the midst of a fight for her life, she reveals her abilities to the worst person imaginable. Not only is he an enemy soldier, he is none other than Prince Alaric, the son of the Emperor, who happens to have some of the strongest shadow magic that has ever been seen, so much so that he's been turned into a literal weapon by his father. As these two come to literal blows in a fight of light versus shadow, something unexpected happens where their magics merge and they create something that no one has ever seen before. With this new strange magic, they know they have the ability to end the war, especially with something bigger coming their way that has the power to destroy not just them, but their homes as well. So they form an alliance with the goal of saving their world, but will they be able to put aside their anger and resentment in order to stand strong against this destructive force, or will they crumble in the face of it? So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 3.95. Now I know that's a weird rating. Why not just make it a 4? Honestly, it just didn't feel like a 4 for me. While I definitely enjoyed this book and I enjoyed the second half, the first half I had trouble sinking into. And I think that has to do around the author's writing style and how they do their world building. I love world building, but I will say I prefer info dumps at the start so I fully understand this world and the conflict and then can just go straight into the story with that understanding in place. I will say I don't mind getting the information as the story progresses, but it does have to be done a certain way. And there were times while I was reading this book where I was left confused, not quite understanding this world and what was going on. Now, I gotta say, one of my favorite tropes is enemies to lovers, and this book does it really well. They are true enemies. Not only are they on opposite sides of a war, but they have actively tried to unalive one another. So you have that delicious tension between the two of them. And actually, as the story progresses, that tension keeps building because sometimes there would be one step of progress forward, but then something would happen to keep them at odds with one another and it'd be 5 steps back. So they never quite got past the enemy stage in this book. Now, for our characters, you first have Taslin, our female main character, who is smart, resourceful, and determined. With how she grew up, she has always had to fight and push, and I really appreciate that about her. But of course, she has some unresolved trauma and anger that leads to her lashing out in the anger as well as making mistakes. So she is definitely flawed, but I could appreciate that again. Now, with Prince Alaric, our male main character, I did not like him. You're not meant to like him based on what he's done and how he reacts to certain things. But as certain details come to light as the story progresses, you hate him a little less. So I'm definitely intrigued how he's going to be turned around into someone I can get behind. Overall, while this may not have been completely a book for me, I did enjoy it enough that I intend to read the next book. So this book is currently available if you want to give it a try for yourself, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.